when I took the training, it was helpful, but it wasn't the entire solution. I didn't just need information, I needed something more. And you remember I went to talk to the leader of the training, and he said, what you need is a coach. So I got an ADD coach, and there's a few key instances where it made a huge difference. For example, I remember I needed help with time management. The first exercise that the coach had me do, she said, okay, so you're having trouble getting everything done. Let's talk about what you're doing. And she made me write down a list. I say she suggested. She didn't make me do it, but she suggested I write down a list of everything that I was doing and how many hours each week I wanted to spend doing it. So I knew what I had to do, so I listed all this stuff down and how many hours it should take, and done. I've got this big long list. I'm done. Okay, she says, now add up those hours. I added up the hours, 228. That's the hours, that's the activity that I was trying to fit in a 168-hour week. It doesn't work. Things had to change, and this is where the second real advantage came in, is working with a coach gave me accountability. When I had to change something, I would tell my coach that I was going to change this, and when a week later she asked me, so did you change this? It's not like I was going to be punished or anything, but there was an accountability there. I felt that I had said that I would, so I had to. And so the accountability was really important, but the other thing was, once we had set this in place, when we started to work through solving all of the different problems that I had, his approach really was completely different, something completely different than I had seen before. What was interesting was that we were free to solve problems in a way that would work for me. There was no more you should do things a certain way, or you should do them this way, or everybody else does them that way. That was gone. I was able to then discover what worked for me and the way that my brain works. Exactly. And really all of the lessons that I've learned and that you've learned, we've learned together, you've learned with me as your guinea pig, yeah, have become the maximum productivity makeover.
Exactly. And of course, you ended up progressing after that. I remember the progression in your career became quite quick.
Yep,
you ended up VP of production in the same company that actually demoted you,
yep,
which was something else. You've survived 3 mergers of that same company, and not just survived, but thrived through them,
yep,
which is unusual because ADDers often struggle with the idea of merger plus ADD equals job loss.
Yep. It wasn't easy. Making all of these changes was not easy. And at the same time, I want to tell you that I'm not fixed, okay? First of all, ADHD is not a disease. You can't cure it. I'm not broken. I just work differently. And yes, it's still difficult sometimes. My brain is a bit rebellious. It has its own way of doing things. But I'm not broken, and so I'm not fixed.
Exactly. I often get phone calls from spouses and parents of young adults with attention deficit disorder, and I know there are spouses or parents because they're actually whispering on the phone and trying to convince me to fix their kid or their spouse. And I have to tell them that ADD is in their DNA. It's not something that can be fixed. It's really part of who they are, and they really need to embrace it and learn ADD strategies, friendly strategies to manage their lives. And they could have a very successful, very happy and fulfilling life. And sometimes because of, or even despite the ADD.
Well, that's it. Because once you've made that progress, you really can. You unleash the possibility of living as a creative genius. And of course, our relationship has improved tremendously. I'm a partner.
Yeah.
Linda doesn't have 3 kids. We have 2 kids, and we're creating something beautiful.
Absolutely. Our financial situation got much better, and actually in 2009, I don't think I ever would have dreamt that 14 years ago, but in 2009 we celebrated our 25th anniversary in Italy. And we had planned a couple of years ahead of time that we were going to do this, and decided to put in place the systems that would allow us to go there without getting into debt. Because in the past, we would have gotten into debt. We would have waited till the last minute, bought our tickets, and then really worried the whole time about the money that we were spending and having to come home to these huge credit card bills. Instead, we spent a month instead of 2 weeks in Italy and had an absolute ball. Never had to worry about money. Everything was already taken care of ahead of time.
Yep. On top of that, my relationship with the girls, with my daughters, is much, much better. Back in the day, I guess if it wasn't for who's that strange man when I got home so late, I was fighting with them.
Yep, absolutely.
But now it's much better.
Exactly. Now, by becoming a master of your life and then managing how you work, like you said before, working the way you work best, and adopting these strategies that work for you, you became more productive, not only at work, but also at home.
Yep.
And were able to pull your weight and become a partner for me. You were able to manage procrastination, and you don't, you don't procrastinate ever. Reaching your goals was one of those things that became true, something that you've always wanted to do. And I think the most important would have been how at some point you finally had the time to pursue your real passion, and that's your art.
That's right. That's a big thing, because most of us have, with day-to-day lives, our dreams get pushed to the side, and you do things when you have time. And you have, when you're struggling just to get through the day, you have no spare time. And it eats up so much of your energy that you have no spare energy. Well, with the changes that I've made, I have the hours that I can put in to develop an art career, and I'm not exhausted when I get home from work. I have the energy to put into it too.